Welcome back to Establishing Faith. I'm Victoria, and this is 21 Days of Leadership, day 15. And today we are talking about the importance of promoting complex problem solving and critical thinking within your organization. Now more than ever, we are in an age of artificial intelligence. We are in an age of forces that want to control you, your organization, and your family. It is your job as a leader to fight harder than ever to promote complex problem solving and critical thinking within your family and within your organization. If you can't solve complex problems, and if you don't entrain your team members to think for themselves, their jobs will become redundant. We know that's happening in scenes like copywriting, marketing. Eventually, in the next 10 years, jobs like engineering jobs and computer science jobs are going to be turned over to artificial intelligence. What will not be turned over are leadership positions. We will always and forever need effective, innovative leaders. And now more than ever, it is imperative that you are also a heart-centered leader. Your job is to have integrity. Your job is to be a vessel of love and truth. And your job is to go forward and have the hard conversations, say the outrageous things that are true, and have it be all rooted and centered in your heart. We need heartfelt leadership. We need to feel each other more than ever. We crave human connection. Look at everything that's happening in the world today. How can you be a beacon of light for people who are going through difficult times? How can you lead through those difficult times? How are you showing up for yourself, your family, and your organization when shit hits the fan? How are you showing up for your organization when catastrophes hit? What are you doing with the time that you have? What are you doing with the money that you have? What are you doing with the resources that you have? These are all questions that you need to be asking yourself every single day as a leader. How are you showing up in alignment with your core values? How are you showing up in integrity? How are you showing up with conviction? And are you being intentional with the actions that you take, the choices that you make, your thoughts, and the patterns in your organization? As a leader, you need to be the person who sets up backup systems, who sets up structures for when things go wrong. People need someone to turn to. When things go wrong, people need fallback systems and processes and procedures to follow. In aviation, one of the great things that we in leadership can learn from the aviation industry is that, number one, in aerospace engineering, you always have at minimum 2 backups, if not 3. As a pilot, you always have your procedure for the ideal situation, and then you always have a procedure, a written down procedure for engine fires, for a passenger becoming ill, for emergency landing, for a wing falling off. Like, you know what to do in a bunch of various situations and circumstances where things do not go according to plan, when things do not follow the ideal process or the ideal procedure. There's a phenomenon in engineering called Occam's razor, and quite simply, it's if something can go wrong, it will. So as a leader, your job needs to be how can you predict the outlying circumstances? And that's the trick about outlying circumstances. You can't quite predict them because they are outliers. You can't predict an outlier based on past data or past information. You, number one, have to be able to think on your feet and solve complex problems in the moment. Or you have to say, okay, these are the 5 different things that, based on the information I have, can go wrong, therefore might go wrong in the future. How can I create systems and procedures now that will help streamline the process to get back on track, to get back on our feet when actually this problem does occur or something worse? So be an effective leader. Encourage other people to think through different things that could go wrong within your family or within your organization, how they are going to solve them. Ask your team members how they should solve a problem and give them responsibility. You want to give your team members and your family members stake in the game to solve these problems together, promote complex problem solving, critical thinking, and you lead from your heart, and you will have an organization that stands the test of time. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.